Hi, I'm Shannon O'Flaherty. I hope you all had a very lovely, happy Valentine's Day yesterday. I certainly did. I really loved interviewing with Jennifer Mulligan about astrology and the chakras. And I've signed up for her signature offer, an hour and a half session with her to have my astrology and chakras looked at, and tarot. I think she also does with it. Really interesting. I haven't had any of that done in probably 5 years, so it's certainly time. And I encourage you to book a session with her as well. Also, I hope you've noticed I've put my new links up in the group and I've pinned them to the top of the page. So there's a new link to book a mind shift call with me now. And there's a link there to see the From Fear into Love landing page, which I'm really pleased about. And thank you, Sheni Pieris, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, for doing such a wonderful, professional, and beautiful job creating that for me. So I want to speak about expectations and letting go of them, secret expectations, because oftentimes we feel let down by people, by our friends, maybe by our kids, by various people. And I'm not talking about when we've made a plan and somebody doesn't show up. That's something else. I'm talking about when we haven't communicated something that we want from them or expect or assume from somebody. And we walk around a lot with secret expectations going on, and that sets us up for rejection. And then people don't come through in the way that we wished they had. And then we feel like, oh, well, nobody shows up for me. So that's a vibrational thing. And lately, I've really been noticing how held, how supported, how seen I have felt from all of my friends and my father and people showing up for me. Because as you all know, I've been in a moving process, which is always challenging. And even Wonder Woman has to sit down sometimes, but I've been juggling too many plates and it got on top of me. My root chakra was out. I broke my pinky toe, lots of things. And one friend came through showing me my patterns, calling me out on stuff. Other people have said, make sure you're resting. People have called me just to make sure that I've been okay, because they could tell that my usually aligned self was a little bit stretched because I had too much on, because we're all human. And I thought, how wonderful all of these people are coming through for me. But what I also noticed in myself was that I didn't have secret expectations that other people would come through for me. I asked for help. And even if I didn't literally ask for help, I told my nearest and dearest what was going on for me. This is going on, this is going on. And they could see a pattern. They could see that I wasn't in my normal state of being. And I think because I give out and help people so much, they reached out and did the same for me. Now, it hasn't always been that way, even with some of these friends. My best friend is here now visiting me, and we were talking about the past, where I didn't feel let down by my friends because I was just so lost in where I was in a toxic relationship. But looking back, I thought, why didn't you step forward and tough love me then? And we had this big conversation about that. I said, because friends, true friends, are not enablers. True friends are not there just to placate you and agree with everything that's going on for you. True friends are there to call you out on your stuff, to say, hey, what are you doing that for? That doesn't seem like you. That doesn't even feel congruent to who I believe you are as a person. Excuse me, there is something really weird. True friends are there to help you past the obstacles that you've put in your own path that you can't see, but they're perfectly clear to other people. And if you're a friend and you're not speaking up for your friend because you're afraid that they're not going to receive you or whatever, that's your stuff that you've got to look into. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to piss your friend off because they're not going to hear or they're going to get defensive. Well, maybe, but at least then in yourself, you know that you're being a true friend. And so we were having this conversation and talking about why they didn't step forward. And she said, well, you are a force to be reckoned with. And I thought, well, yeah, I am. But that's also why I like coaching, cards on the table, because it's transparency, it's vulnerability, it's calling out the bullshit, really. And I like coaches who will meet me where I'm at. And it's wonderful when you have somebody who isn't afraid to do that. So I've found amazing teachers and amazing coaches who do that, who actually call it like they see it, because that's the way you're going to help people evolve. That's the way you're going to help people over the blocks that they're putting in their own path, or bring their awareness to them. Because when we're lost in our own stuff, whatever it is, and not that I've been lost exactly, but it did take Kay, my wonderful coach, Kay del Vallecito, to point out this pattern that's been going on for a while, and looked at ancestral things. And I thought, oh, very interesting, because I hadn't stopped to look at that because I've been busy juggling. And I really appreciated that. And other friends who have called just to say, I'm here for you. What do you need? And I mean, everything is groovy. Life is fabulous, but I just, moving is tough. And anyway, so in order to not set up silent expectations, you need to feel safe and confident in yourself to speak your truth, to say, hey, I'm feeling vulnerable. I need a little bit of help, right? I've signed up for this TEDx course, and I was supposed to do the deep dive call with a woman who's running it. She's like, hi, how are you? And I said, honestly, and I told her that I was a little bit overstressed for me, that I'm not normally like this, that I'm usually aligned, but things have been going on. And she was great. She didn't judge me. She said, oh, let's reschedule the call, but yet let's use this time to coach you out of that. And I thought, wow, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable with others and share your vulnerability, that's kind of like asking for help. You're sharing your whole self then. And you're allowing people into your energetic field. You're not putting up a wall or a mask of, I have to be strong. And I don't think I used to share my vulnerability so much in the past because I had a judgment about it. I perceived if I was vulnerable, I would be seen as being weak, or not as together as I actually am, or not in alignment when really I am, or whatever. And all of those worries, that's just you judging yourself. So being vulnerable is being transparent, is being human, is saying, yeah, okay, I am Wonder Woman most of the time, but I've taken off my cape, I've put down my golden lasso for a while, and I'm taking a rest. And yeah, I'm doing everything I can to keep it together, but also I need a little break, right? Or I need help, or can you help me do this? And I asked my kids to come over, and joyously they came over and helped me unpack boxes. I mean, Sheni with her organizational skills, it's just a joy to open my closet because it looks like a display cabinet now, right? And how wonderful. How wonderful. Why are you, oh, it ought not to be sorry. Oh, sorry, I'm asking for help. Why not? We all deserve help. If you're a person who gives and takes care of everybody, and you need some help from others, your loved ones really ought to be there with joy and pleasure. And if you don't feel safe to ask, there's something inside you that needs to be healed. If you don't feel safe to be vulnerable and speak your full truth, especially to your friends and your nearest and dearest, there's something inside of you that needs to be healed. If you're holding silent expectations about people coming forward for you, but you're not sharing your vulnerability, you're expecting people to be telepathic. And although we all have those gifts latently or actively, that's not fair. And you're setting yourself up for disappointment. This is all the secret ways that we sabotage ourselves. And because I've been sharing my vulnerability with my nearest and dearest and friends without any judgment about it, just like, yeah, I'm in a great place. I'm happy. Life is good, but I'm exhausted, right? Because I've been doing too much. And people have been really showing up for me with kindness, with empathy, with help. And I've really felt seen and held and heard. And it's been a very beautiful experience. So I wanted to share that with all of you because you need to look at your ability to be vulnerable. Because when we can be transparent, there's no kind of keep out sign that makes people really want to investigate, right? We don't need to have shame over being vulnerable. It's part of being human. In fact, it's a strength. The people who can be the most vulnerable, free from all of that stuff that's attached to it, are the people who are the strongest because they can flow and they can receive help and love and guidance from their nearest and dearest. And I too am here for you as one of your nearest and dearest, even if you have never even met me yet. Book a mind shift call, 20 minutes free, have an aha moment, get a new perspective on your life, or look at my From Fear into Love 12-week signature offer course. I'm taking enrollments now. It's life-changing. You'll shift your life in week 1, and the aha moments keep coming. So isn't it time to finally get a grip on what's been holding you back subconsciously? Because consciously, we're all pretty intellectual and smart people, and we can see most things, but all of us have quiet stuff, subconscious, suppressed stuff. So speak to me. This is the work I do. Let me help you shift out of that so that you can be your brightest, most vulnerable, in a safe way, self. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.